Hi everyone, this is Ishika and today we are going to cover reading text files in Python. So it is a very fundamental skill for any programmer to work with data. So now Python provides us a simple and a very powerful way to read text files. Now there are two main approaches. One is reading the entire file at once and the second one is line by line reading. So when the files is small and it where all the content can be loaded into the memory, we use the reading the entire file or the whole file at once. And when there are large files to process with large number of lines, reading line by line is preferred to have the data sequentially. Now, we are going to understand both of these methods, which will ensure us for efficient data handling and memory management. So now let's get into the file reading modes. So to read a file, it must be opened in a read mode, that is in the R mode. And if we have to write it, we must open it in a W mode. So now this is the syntax that we use to read a file. That is, we use the open function and then we give the file name and put R so that the file is read by the program. Now, if the file does not exist in the specified path, when you give the file name and it is not in your folder, or when you provide the path and the path is somewhere wrong, it raises an error which is file not found error. So now, first we are going to see how are we going to read the entire file at once, the whole file. So this method reads all the contents in the file in a single operation using the read function. So for simplicity, I am going to create a demo file with demo.txt w. Here we are writing in the demo.txt file just for simplicity here. With the write function, I am going to print this. Now this is my data file. Now if I just want to see, this is the file, this is the lines the file contains, and that's it. So now I want to read the entire file at once. So what I do, I'll just open the file and with using with keyword, I am automatically closing the file after my reading is done. So first I have opened the demo.txt by using R. So it is now going to read the file and it is stored in F. Now I want the content to be read by f.read. That means the file is going to be read by the read function in the Python. Now then I'm going to print the content. So it easily read the whole file and we can't write in the file right now because we are just using the read function. Now, the file demo.txt is opened in the read mode. Then the read function reads the complete content of the file as one string. After that, the content is printed on the string and the with statement ensures that the file closes automatically after reading. Now there is second method in which we have to read the file line by line. So this approach reads the file sequentially one line at a time using a loop. So here you can see that again I have opened the file as F and now for each line in F we are going to print the content. Now there is a function called strip which is going to remove extra spaces or new line characters. It's just going to cover the strings or the words that is present in the content of the file. So now when I run this, it will give me the same exact output. Now, what is the difference is it when I use the read method for reading the entire file at once, it read the whole content like a string, the whole as one string. But here, the whole content is read line by line. So we the first the Python read this line, after that this, and printed the content like this. Now this is important when we have a larger file, or with the smaller file, we can just simply read the whole file. So the explanation is again, the file is opened in the read mode and the loop iterates each line of the object file of the object file object F And the strip method removes extra spaces and each line is printed separately. So what would be my flow is that first we are going to open the file in read mode, that is R, and then read the file using either read or a line by line loop. It depends on what our needs is. Now then we will process the data as required. Now we can easily process the data, whatever operations I want to do with the content. And then because we have used the with keyword, my file is going to automatically close. So this is my step-by-step workflow. Now there is an example of handling exceptions while reading a file. Now, when I told you when the file is not present in the folder or the specific path have some issues, there must arise a file not found error. Otherwise, your program will just crash. We don't want that. So there is a try and except block. In the try block, we just check for the file, and if the file is not present in the folder on the specific path, the except block will just print a error message so that your program does not get crashed. Now there are some practices that you might need for a better performance of your program, that always use the with statement so that the file automatically closes. Otherwise, you have to put a close function to the file also for efficiency. And for large data sets, we prefer the line by line reading to avoid the memory overload, because this Python is not storing the whole content at once. So it is going to store line by line of the content. Then we can use strip or restrip to clean the lines when processing text. Now what it does is that it removes the extra characters that we don't need for our content to be processed. So after that, we are going to handle exceptions, that if my file is not present in the path or in the directory, we need a file not found error to avoid crashing of the program. So that's how you read a text file in Python. We have the basic two methods, that reading the entire file at once, and the second is reading the entire file line by line. So that's it. Thank you so much.